track support premier tuning package stuff. Involves multiple tuning sessions, everything you need to make your car finished like if I owned it, which is a cold start, full warm tune, power management, and everything else in between. Right now we're doing startup stuff, so we're going to see if the idle valve's open far enough to start up without a throttle touch, see fuel algorithm for idle if it needs any, and all that stuff. So let's get started. All right, so idle valve on startup looks to be fine. We are gonna give it a little more. All right, that should pop the valve open a little more, and what that'll do is give it a little bit more of an idle flare. Now the fuel during cranking and all that stuff seems to be fine. It's after start enrichment, so we're gonna move over to, I got our idle tables pulled up over here. We got after start enrichment. Let me clean the lens. Anyways, when we get home, we're going to talk about spark plugs and some of the turbo stuff on the Hondas. I'm going to get to that, but we'll do a little tuning education right now. So basically, the maps I have up here are the idle air control valve and enrichment. We have the car fully tuned as far as idle, cruising, all that stuff. So what this is the maps for basically initial start. So when the car originally starts, as far as how much fuel, not for cranking or prime, so key on priming or fuel during cranking, seemed to fire up fine. If it had a different injector size, cranking, fuel trim probably would have need to be changed. Now the idle valve seemed to cause a decent idle flare up, which means the throttle body set up and the stock algorithm shit was looking good. Gave it just a little bit more duty cycle to give it just a little bit more of a stronger flare, because I did touch throttle right before it started, and I want to make sure that he doesn't feel like, that kind of naturally made me want to touch the throttle to do it. We want to make sure the car starts without having to do that regardless. Doesn't really give you that feeling, makes it basically start better, start easier, smoother. And then after that, the idle valve will go from warm up to running position, which is, as it warms up, it'll go to a steady position, and kind of close loop itself there. Now, then you have the fuel enrichment, which is the enrichment after startup and the enrichment after initial start. So you have the prime, the cranking, and then you have the initial start, and then you have to have the after start enrichment. So it doesn't look like we're looking at anything with the idle valve. I don't believe that dropped off because of idle valve. It dropped off because it's lean or rich. I think it's lean. And we were only a couple percentages off on the cold map before. This thing does run pretty cold consistent because the big ass radiator, it's a drift car. But the main issue is we hadn't touched these cells. These are the 80-degree cells you can see here that we're looking at that are highlighted. That little orb is on. We had been starting at the higher cells because when I came over, the car wasn't that cold. Now, as I'm adding the fuel into the leaner, or I should say the lower temperature areas, instead of, most tuners would target that cell mainly or only, and maybe, one or two around it. But the issue with that is as it gets colder, it's going to probably want more fuel as well. So not only are we going to interpolate and we're going to trim, but instead of, for example, adding fuel, like say it ends up wanting fuel like right here for startup, well, it's not going to go like this as it gets colder. It's showing you that we had already bumped these numbers up. You can see here, we're going to hit this one. I think this one's actually correct, but I think it starts to go lean right here. And I think we're lean all back here. So as it starts to get towards winter and colder more and stuff like that, he's going to end up back here. Stuff with the idle valve and all that shit, I mean, that's whatever. Touch the throttle a little, or, it's enough air. That's one thing. The fuel, though, I mean, if it's, so lean that it's having trouble sustaining idle cold, or so rich, that's definitely just going to make it shut off. So having a little bit of a long cranking from the valve not being open, that's something later we can go adjust. Right now didn't seem to be the issue with the temperatures we're at, and I would assume colder still not be an issue, although I did give it a little bit more duty cycle. The fuel is mainly what our issue is, and then we are going to drive it and do a final tune. So let me get prepared here. I have to get medicated. And honestly, the after start enrichment, I do not know how long it's active on this map. It says it's measured in resolutions. Let's see here. Percentage adder. Immediately after. So some on basically most of these engine management systems, on most of these engine management systems, it'll have, and I'll tell you guys this because this is going to help you when you go to mess with your cars or even to get it tuned. So anyways, so basically when you get a standalone, they're all laid out different. They might be volumetric efficiency, pulse width, fuel, measurements, or milliseconds. They're going to have a lot of things that are different, random shit, this, that, the other. It will have a help section or description of every setting. Now, if you think for one moment that even after doing this multiple times, you're not going to be using that, like I did when I first started tuning, or when I was younger, or when I was like, oh, I want to be a professional tuner, this is how we do it, this, that. Well, I wanted to make sure I did the best, so I had to educate myself. I will tell you, I'm very good at reading something and understanding it and teaching myself and this and that. And a lot of people have trouble with that because they can't sense like emotion through text, or maybe like kind of see the way somebody was thinking when they wrote it. And I'm pretty perceptive to that. I'm pretty intellectual. I'm pretty well-rounded. I'm pretty smart. I'm, those things that kind of, when it comes to like science, math, this type of stuff, that's like my type of common sense, I guess. So long story short, these little help things at the bottom, I used to be like, oh, we're not going to need that. So I would change all my tuning software to not have like the about, the help, any of the extra option shit I didn't want, this, that. Now I still go through and I set it up, but a lot of that stuff I actually leave on, and I'll change it to quick tabs. So like I can click them off and on. And then like now I know like when I'm doing something, like if I don't need to read the live data because I kind of know where I'm at or whatever, I won't, fuck with it. So I'll leave it off, shit like that. Just as you get better. So I'll fire it up again right now. We do know that the coolant based cranking is probably not the issue because it didn't shut off until it went into the enrichment. That's the duty cycle. Here is after start. Here's the warm up. Okay. So let's go here. Won't we do multiple tabs, bitch? Okay. Well, let's do this. It started up fine. It was when it went to enrichment. So we're going to go ahead and add 12%. Let me flip the camera around. And I'm just going through adding about 7% to these. Okay, we burned it. It's going to ask me for a key cycle. All right, let's see where we end up. Better. Not the best, but better. Hell yeah. Nailed it, like your daughter. All right, now we're gonna move up to 100 degrees, everybody. All right, we nailed nailed down our 80-degree threshold. The duty cycle was good. The base cranking timing, after start fuel enrichment, all that seems to be fine. Although I am gonna go while we're creeping to 100. Let me turn on the fan so hopefully it'll get warmer slower. We're gonna go to our after start enrichment. We are gonna go down here and we're gonna change that to 2, 4, 6, 8, 7 or 8, 7. All right, now we got our 100-degree. Hang on. All right, 100-degree, 146. Make sure we're not hitting a voltage issue. Yeah, we're not. Okay. So basically right now I'm adding some fuel on the idle enrichment, or I'm sorry, the warm-up enrichment. And we probably need to do a key cycle, but I don't want to go too far without, because I did throw some numbers in here I'm not happy with. So we're going to go back because we didn't get a change with them. I want to make sure when we do our key cycle, it reads correctly. So sometimes you gotta do a key cycle to get it to act right, because the ECU will need to basically reset. So that's what we just did. So as you can tell, we're richer now, so that kind of shows you that's what that was. So fatter, but I'm not tripping on it being a little fat. We want it not lean. It's this one too. It's not this one. It's this one. So you'll have a thing called interpolation, which is the direction that the things travel when they're working. Now, as it's warming up, it's going to interpolate down warmer temperatures, right? So it's going from this to this, and it's a linear connection. It's flat. So from this number to this number, say it's, 4 and 8, it's going to be 4, like that. But interpolation direction, say the water temperature is on its way up, the computer technically, because it's not moving fast, doesn't know what direction it's going. So there could be another table, thought process wise, that's telling it maybe, for example, that it's cooling down or trending backwards, or it could just kind of interpret the information differently than than what you're thinking in between those 2 points, because it is, going from one to another, it could be bouncing like a solid unit number. That's going to cause it to have oscillation that you can't pick up on until after. So now I have to go back and pull it out. We got to let the car cool down and then do it again. But from what I'm noticing, we're talking a couple percent of fuel on the rich side. That's where we want to be. And it's also during warm-up. At that water temperature, we're just now getting to 120. At those water temperatures, you definitely wouldn't want to be any leaner than your mid-14s, because that's like stoich, that's no fuel left over after the burn. But the other thing is, you wouldn't want to be so lean, or I shouldn't say lean, I should say you want to be so rich you're pushing fuel past the rings, because the motor's cold, the bore's cold, all that. There's definitely, condensation that's happening from that motor, like sweating from those thermal changes. It's actually going to make water come from shit that you wouldn't think, but like in the intake tract, the manifold, all that, you're going to get a lot of condensation, the humidity, all that. It's just really weird around warm-up because it's from cold to warm. And although it's burning fuel, it's a chemical reaction. It's funny because they go chemical reaction and then they start talking about the fuel burning and making power, but it's not chemical in the idea of you take this chemical, mix this chemical, you get this and it does this. It's you take this chemical, you burn it, and it does this. So that's the way they measure like alcohol, methanol, nitro, the weight. How much does it take to produce how much power? And that's how dense the fuel is. So just different than what you think, So our air-fuel ratios have stayed the same. We're going to turn the fan off. It's sitting at 120. It won't warm up. Even when he drifts it on a hot day, I'd suspect this thing will not get over like 160. It's got like a huge Mustang radiator in it or something. It's a Miata. Alright, so the idle valve right now, for me, a little high. I'll tell you guys one thing. This thing has an idle valve and it works. I've played with it. The stock Honda ones, you have some adjustment on the Honda software. This is standalone. This is a Megasquirt, so it's just using its onboard diodes and shit to control the 2-wire idle valve. I feel like it just does not fucking function right. And you could definitely tune it. Like, you can fuck with the hertz that it's pulsed with voltage-wise, and I have. But I haven't been able to get a change out of it. So that's why I'm like, all right, maybe it's in a software setting. But the car has a higher cold idle and then brought down when it's warm. So it's normal. But I just like after warm up it to be like 1200 and then go to 1000. Most cars will be at like, 12, 1300, 1400 and then come down to like 750. I just like it to be tight, not to, I don't know, it's at like 1500 right now and I don't like it. But he did a throttle adjustment. We might have to adjust the idle because it did have the idle valve last time vibrate loose. So I need to get it to full warm up to make sure that we actually have it set right, because it might be duty cycled way too much right now. just means the manual idle's higher. I have a question. It's at 160 right now, which, I mean, that's pretty much warmed up.
Yeah.
I know you redid the valve that was loose.
Yeah.
Do we need to maybe lower the idle on the throttle body a little with the Allen head on the rotor?
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's idling warm at 15. I'm adjusting the valve down, and it is wired, but to be quite honest with you, I never use the idle valve on aftermarket ECUs because I feel like they just never fucking work right. I'm sure that we can get it to work, but as I'm making changes, it's not changing anything with the idle valve. And you would think, like, I've changed like the 3 different settings you can. Well, I'm thinking it's just the idle valve is possibly wired correctly. It could literally be one of the options, but I just have to sit here and finicky with it. But here's the thing. We don't have a problem per se because it's kicking up when it's cold and coming down. It's just overall about 500 RPM too high. That's just a throttle body adjustment. So I wouldn't say there's any like issue really. We just need to bring back the throttle rotor a little bit higher.
I mean, I'm fine with the high.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can do it later. I was just saying, I just wanted to make sure because I really do believe this thing just isn't listening to me. And we can go through and do,
Well, I bought the car. He also got off the idle.
Say that one more time.
When I bought the car off the biggest manifold, he told me like it's normal to idle that high.
He said it had all these idled high.
Yeah.
I think you were saying something about that too. Which we've gotten good control over it. Now we know we can lower it with the rotor, so we can do that.
Yeah.
So we can always lower it after. Let me give it one more reset. And then it does have a warm-up enrichment. Is it a little lean? 178. Yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, I know on this, it's just a little vibraty, a little higher idle than I like normally have. We usually aim for $1,000. That's all. I just want to make sure you're happy. Okay, so we just need the water temp. There we go. So we're at 179. Good air fuel ratios. Let's kick the fan on. And then the water temp. Basically right now we're just making sure it holds air fuel ratio all the way through so the warm up enrichment's set. Okay, now we're gonna start tuning. So basically on the acceleration enrichment, this initial one right here. So these control how hard the tip-in is. So basically when you hit the throttle, however far you hit it, it gives that much of an extra pump shot, it's called. But what that is it's an enrichment setting you'll see on like OEM ECUs or ear tuning software. On standalones and with the fucking gangsta nigga, you fucking call it a pump shot. Same thing I do to my girlfriend. Pump shot. Alright, so it's gonna go a little fat when I hit the throttle. You hear that like stumble? Watch. This is like 3% throttle. Watch, you can see it. Watch. Okay, now come over here. Watch the air fuels. And a lot of people will be like, oh, this happens, this, that. I'm like, look at your wideband. They're like, well, I can't see it. It'll trend a direction. And lean can also be rich because it's basically telling you there's so much fuel it's not burning, it's dumping the exhaust. So watch, it's idling. Give it that little 3-4% throttle. See that little rich spike right there after? That was about 10%. It was still going rich. Now we're going to go to about 20. Alright, so we're looking at these 2 points right here. This is a Mega Squirt Pro 3. We're looking at these 2 points right here. These ones look about right. These ones aren't. we're gonna pull out about 15%. So 84, 70, 60, we'll go about. Alright. Alright. Now, don't mind that 10-to-1 and that rich trace. You got to remember I'm blipping the throttle, letting off, and it's got enrichment and decel enrichment and time for that. So there's going to be residual fuel left over going into decel and idle in that throttle pop. So this wideband's not going to show you everything, and it's going to have a time delay. But we're returning to normal idle, and on throttle hit, we're not getting any bucking, bogging, and we're going towards the rich side. That's a good start. When we drive it, we'll get better. This is not a prom edit. This is live. So, serial data link. Serial data link. So, it's a Mega Squirt 3. So now we're gonna go drive it. I'm actually gonna let him drive it. And I did make changes to this, and now I know why I didn't like that when I put it on. I did make changes to it at my house.
Oh, really?
Yep, we're gonna go drive it right now to make sure I'm gonna let you drive. There was one part on the map I didn't like, and I fixed it, and now I remember why. All right.
I'll bring it back. I'll push things on.
Yeah, you're good, your thing. So, when we were tuning this prior, this car had a load thing going on, which was kind of weird. I was like, what the fuck is that? And when I was driving it, I could not get it to show up on the map, but I could see it on the wideband and I could feel it. And I was like, man, what the fuck's going on? Like maybe a key cycle or something. But we had the idle shit start fucking up. And then, hang on, you guys probably aren't gonna like this. Hang on, I gotta set the phone down. All right, thanks for being patient with me, you guys. So anyway, basically we're getting ready to leave, and I've had stuff stolen out of the car, and I'm like, not here and this and that, but you know, I'm like, don't worry about that shit. Usually Harley's here and she's like got my back. She'll like have the keys and everything, but like since she's been gone, I'm really not used to it.
Went all the way down to 140.
The water down?
Yeah.
Because I had the fan on. Yeah. It went all the way down to 140. We're gonna have to leave the fan off right now. But don't worry, you guys will see. To say it, bud, I know you're trying to talk to me about tuning and you want, like, I get that, but what you're saying is like AI / like what you can comprehend and interpret, and I don't think you've ever really tuned a car. I'm not trying to be rude. I don't want to waste my time. All that stuff never never mind. I'm gonna go tune the car. The graph outflow. A graph is a graph, like a picture. Outflow of what? Outflow of what? Like a turbo? So you want like post turbine pressure? Or do you want post math flow rate? Like to see if the math is like too small? Like what are you actually, your red zone for lean? Anything leaner than 14.7 means there's no fuel left over. On decel, you shouldn't be reading any fuel because you're decelerating, there shouldn't be any fuel. So I don't understand what's a red zone. Like I've been tuning 20 years and I don't know what a red zone is. ECU controller, check prom for settings. And a prom, it's not called a prom. Got a little wheel spin right there.
Yeah.
That thing got up on the tire a little bit. A prom, it's not a prom, it's an EEPROM, which is a chip, which is an external chip. That's why it's called an external EEPROM. It's not an ECU controller because we're not using a piggyback, which is what you'd call it, not a ECU controller, because it's a piggyback, it's a hack. So this is actually a standalone. So the prom settings, why would I check the chip settings when I have the map right here on the computer? Like, if you look, the map's right here. So why would I refer to chip settings? Yeah, you can set your lean max, but I'm not gonna let the car tune itself. I'm gonna tune it. So like, why would I set to do air fuel ratios? I'm gonna tune the fuel injection and chart to give the right air fuel ratios, and then have the O2 sensor do trim short term to correct it if it's off by a couple percent. I'm not gonna give it an air fuel ratio chart with some random fuel chart and be like, do all the correction for me and fuck tuning it. I'm just gonna do the timing and you'll fix the fuel plus or minus 30 to 50%. Like I'm gonna tune it. So just some of the stuff you're saying isn't like, I just hope that people watching this can understand the difference between somebody who reads and thinks they know what they're talking about, consider themselves a tuner anymore. I mean, I do R&D, race development. I'm a calibrationist. I do specialty work, development, torque plotting, power management. So I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, you're right, Doc. Yeah, you're good, Road. Like 3 zones. I'm in 3 zones. Hey, Doc. He's saying we're in 3 zones. A lean or you get yellow. So I guess we're yellow. You guys were yellow right now. It's code yellow right now. How do I get out of this code yellow, the gnome? He's gonna tune your car for us. Tell me what to do, man. Green, yellow, red. All right, where do I want to be, bro? Because I'm just seeing numbers, dog. I don't know. This ain't no narrow band $5 sensor with your $20 AutoZone gauge, dog. It's a real wide band, homie. Let me know the numbers, dog. Tell me those air fuels, dog. What should I aim for, bro? Don't let them blow up. I don't see nothing but green on here. Where's the fucking red and the yellow? Oh, is that the fucking red you're talking about? Watch, let out of the gas.
Oh, yes.
There you go. And it'll go into decel. And start trend, yeah. So is that what you're talking about? The decel fuel that's still rich as fuck that you were saying is too red or lean or something? That's what I'm saying. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's still rich in decel. We're all fucking over here saying it's lean. Man. What's the O2 and MAF? Well, that's the wideband, so that's the O2. And it doesn't have a MAF, it has a load sender because the standalone's been removed. I gotta get to work, dog. I can't do this with you anymore.
Yeah, it feels good.
Hell yeah. And we still got more in it. Alright, I'm gonna get to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm gonna give you the adjustment now. We got some more, don't worry. I was talking to the gnome the whole time. Sorry guys, I'm one hand in this bitch right now. Sorry guys, I got one hand doing this. Bear with me. But we're in such a low gear and I can tell when you level off, so we're good there. Make sure as you're playing with it, it's not lean or something. Yeah, we're good. That little lean spot you were seeing there is because you're going in and out of the gas. That wideband probably has about a 0.2, 0.25 second delay. Just a little bit.
It's because the wideband is really far down.
Oh yeah, it's a little late.
It's like way, almost to the transition. It used to be in front of the header, but I had to move it when I got the new header.
Makes sense. We have really good timing in here. We just don't have anything crazy. It's low at peak. It's good. I mean, it runs great. Yeah. That's why I'm like, all right. But I do want to check the air fuels one more time. Give me a maybe second gear from 2,000 RPM up to limiter, or you know what I mean, up to your shift point, and then just clutch in, and you can go to just normal cruising that time. I'll make my adjustment and we'll do it again.
Okay.
Alright, I'm not going to explain to you guys what I'm doing here with the timing. I'm not going to explain certain things I do. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but I do get paid for this and I don't want...
Would that be an air leak?
That, yeah, but I'm going to throw a little bit of fuel in there because that was an area we didn't hit before.
Okay.
And I want to make sure.
Well, it's only when the fans are on. That's why I wonder if that's.
It could be a voltage offset thing. It definitely could be. But the RPM is different. And I noticed with the headlights, we didn't see a change. So it could just be a vacuum change as well. The idle's always tricky on these, and that's why I want to make sure, because we are pulling decent vacuum, and as it hunts around, that's going to change that. So I'm going to do my adjustments and give you exactly what it wants right there, and it's not lean or anything. But if it needs some adjustment in the future, it's only an idle. That's not, see how it's getting pretty close now?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you're not overly rich, you know what I mean? Something, obviously, if it's not safe, do whatever you do to be safe. Shit in a 4-banger that runs like shit. Hey, so I built numerous 10-second Hondas for myself with a stock motor. I will give you my phone number and address. Why don't you? We can meet up and race. We can meet, fight, and race. Either way, you let me know. Floor it. All right, let out. All right, put it in fourth. Floor. I know. Third gear whenever you're ready. dog, check it out. I don't talk shit on the internet. I'm waiting for that motherfucking address or phone number to run that fade, so shut the fuck up. Get it.
Axel's on.
Hit that track. Alright, give me third whenever you're ready. It's firmer. Yeah, you're good. Go as low as you can. Got kicked out by your foot. Hang on. You're good. Might have just booted it. I think it's back online. Let me check. Yeah, we're good. You're good. Alright, give me a third gear just to make sure we didn't change something. Yeah, we're good. Alright. Yeah, it feels good. I firmed up the timing in the mid-range.
Oh, really?
So check it out. I don't shy from a fight, and I don't like shit talking over the internet. I'd rather do it, like, if it's gonna happen, just let it happen. You're saying you know how to tune this, that. I'm honestly just, like, fucking around, because, like, really, like, I'm not gonna let some random fool that I don't, whatever. But, like, I would rather something happen than not if you're gonna waste all this time talking and then talking about red zones. So to be honest with you, I'm probably bullshitting as hard as you are. I could really care less. I'm raking in money right now, enjoying sliding around my buddy's Miata, getting paid for it. I'm not tripping. And he's loving paying me for it, so I don't care. Like, I suck, I'm a weirdo, I'm a loser, I'm a douchebag. Guess what? You are too, dog. One over into yellow, I know, dog. I go towards the yellow too far. You know what they say, once you go yellow, you have melanin issue. Alright. Cool, we got some shape here, I'll show you guys. We got a little bit of shape out of our, oh, I got a touch screen, check me out. So we got some shape out of our timing chart. We actually found out before we added a little flatter, more linear. So we actually figured out what resonance node it liked and where peak torque was. And then we got the fueling up here. And we made our peak a little bit longer, mellower, got rid of the rich to lean sweep. Made it all pretty much flat. It is going a little richer up here, but let me go to the chart, let me make sure. And that's exactly what I thought. So basically, last adjustment I did, this didn't get changed. So what we'll do is we'll bring out our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I believe it was click. All right, and that is now our final fuel chart. That fixed our little rich spot up top. Here we will go to our desktop. We have our files, and we will save it in here, and we will just make a file for it. We'll just make a mega squirt folder, but we'll put ms3 pro.miata mb1.full bolt on. Save. close. All right, and that was Dead Spool Calibrations. And then homie does get a present today, actually. I got a gift. I got a gift. Hey, you guys haven't seen these yet either, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't know where they're at. Shit. Fuck. Where did I put them? I don't know where I put them. Fuck. Shit. I got stickers made the other day, and I got new ones made for the company, and I can't remember where I put them. Okay. I put them in an envelope. They're in my box at the house. Oh, they're in here. I took them in here. I'll put the camera around. Hang on. Oh, these are the big ass squash air fresheners. You guys check out how big that shit is. 10 on eBay. This is the charcoal because I smoke cigarettes, and then the squash. Just get the squash. This charcoal actually kind of. This is one of those big JDM air fresheners, but the squash soaks up. You can smell it actually. I feel like when it's hot, when it's cold, you smell the squash. When it's hot, the charcoal soaks up the squash, so you can't smell it. So just get the squash one, but it's $10 for the small one. But this is the bus one.
Okay.
Yeah, so highly recommend that. It's definitely watch here, smell it. It smells really good. It smells really good.
Oh yeah, it does actually.
Yeah. Do you want to know why I know it can handle a long run? It probably has less timing in it than it did stock. And it's a fucking stock Miata. And if you know anything about imports, and stock imports, they're very reliable. So that card probably run forever. Tuning wise, I generally see, put it this way, my daily has the factory tune on it, factory computer, and it actually has spark knock. I can hear it all the time. And I run 91 and it's mechanically sound and has no check engine lights, doesn't throw a knock code, and I can hear it. I remap cars all the time from tunes other tuners did. They usually put the tune on and then spot do it, this, that. I remap the torque. That's why I'm a calibrationist and do premier offerings, not just tunes. Because the map that came on his Miata was so shaped and funky, whatever, it didn't even fucking run right. And people will go, oh, you just adjust this, and look how good it runs. I'm like, you don't hear all that spark knock? You don't hear this, that? Like, I might be stupid. I might not know what I'm doing, but I am very confident, and I'll tell you that I have no problems. So regardless of what you think, what it is, whatever, my track record, along with my, how smart I am, my skills, this, that, the other, all just go to the cars run great. It's reliable, probably more reliable than anybody else, and makes good power. And I'm really fucking awesome. I'm really confident. I'm really fucking smart. I'm intellectual. I'm a good person. And I'm a douchebag, I'm an asshole, I'm a lot of those other things. I'm working on myself, I'm running my company, and I'm probably just like you, dog. So really, does all this, like, you know what I mean? Like, questions and bullshit you're doing, like, I'm getting paid to stand here and banter with you. You realize that? When I leave here, I'll be going home and going to bed, and I'll be hundreds of dollars richer. And this was like an hour of my time and a bunch of bullshitting with you. Do you realize the difference between me and you right now of you typing on this computer and me doing this, getting paid, and he's just chilling right here, like just hanging out, not giving a fuck. He's happy. I'm gonna go to bed when I leave here. So let me do this, and yeah, I'm ripping dude off. Yeah, ripping. Do you feel ripped off?
No, I'm chilling.
Oh,
The car
okay.
drifts fine. I drifted it like literally on Saturday. It drifts fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say you took it out and did all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many times have I seen you? Three times.
3 times, yeah.
Okay.
And I put 400 miles on it. 400 very, very hard
yeah,
miles.
drove it. Actually drove it. Yeah, so he's totally ripped off, you guys. He's totally just totally ripped off. These premier tunings are. Why would I treat the car like mine and tune it like I would want? I mean, why would I go, hey, until you're happy, whatever, and if he calls me again, I'm gonna come back. But I suck. What are you talking about, dog? Any other tuner would have tuned it one time, and when he had something come loose, this, that, they would have said, yeah, we could do it again. Give me another $500. So why not just pay me my premier offering and get anything you need when you want it? Hey, I'm not gonna waste my time fucking with you anymore. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I got ADD. I'll get off subject and do this with you all night. But I got shit to do for real.
Yeah, the way I act shows I'm ripping you off. Honestly, I'm just doing it to piss you off. I think everybody gets that, but you read the room, dog. Nobody cares. Go a little bit through the sticker collection here. I don't know. I don't want to get no kids safe shit, but there's some stickers in here that you probably don't want to show on the interwebs. Look, we'll get here. This little PG. That's Harley right there. This is what my girlfriend looks like.
That's wild.
It is what my girlfriend looks like, for real, for real. That's a patch. Hey, Gnome, just so you know, the same kernel, but still watching. Just so everybody knows, I do have a hot ass girlfriend. I ain't gonna lie, it makes me very happy. Put up with all the bullshit. But yeah, I got a bunch of stickers. Try to keep them. Just so you know, these stickers are for sale, you guys. These are all like the dopest of the dopest random shit I could find. Here's real Supreme box logo stickers. If you think I'm playing, I think they have the stamps on the back. So I'm gonna have these for sale. Me and Harley will be going to the car meets and shit. I got a full collection of the gold gas masks in every color. We're gonna have a good time. But for the homie, you get to hold this.
Okay.
All right, so I went through and I got new stickers made, and these are the old ones, okay? Just so everybody can see them. Those are the old ones. That's my hashtag. That's, you know, we were working on company name. We were wanting to change it. Now I got to pick a color though. You want pink, hot pink, nardo gray, black, or purple?
Purple.
Okay. All right, now that's the old ones, you guys. Here's the new ones. And you want purple?
Yeah.
Here.
Awesome.
Bam. You've been dead spool calibrated, bud. All right, you guys. Well, only reason I'm going to hop off live is because I probably look like a douchebag already fucking around with that gnome character. But I am going to leave it up so you guys can see shit. I'm not trying to hide from you or whatever. I might be a douchebag and all that sometimes, but I'm also a good, pretty cool dude and pretty good at tuning. So I'm going to get back to talking to my boy before I get to leave. You guys got to see the new stickers. You're actually the first ones to see it. So get with me for a calibration and, you know, one of our premiere tuning sessions and, you know, get a shirt and a sticker and shit. So those are next. And Gnome, it was really good talking to you, man. I had a blast. Thank you for helping me get attention on my live and no problem, buddy. Thanks for helping me like get people in here. That money I sent you, thanks, bro, for helping me. You know what I mean? Like helping me with like, you know, getting people in here and shit. Thanks for that. You know what's cool? Like straight up, I can tune, do whatever I want, be whoever I want, charge, do whatever I want. And you have choice to work with me or not. And I think we've all been douchey. I think we've all been not the best. I think we've all needed to work on ourselves and made bad choices and said things we regret. But the thing is I'm here doing it and I'll never quit. And I'll always work on myself and be better. And guys like you will probably complain and say you're perfect and never learn from your mistakes, and you'll always be right? So I would rather be wrong a million times over and learn from it and work at it than assume I was better than anybody. And by the way you talk, just goes to show that you have to have the last word and say the last thing. You have to win. And that just goes to show that you don't matter to anybody, probably.
If you have any like cool pictures you want, like made.
Oh, that's cool.
I 3D print stuff.
Let me check that out. That is really cool. These are 3D printed?
Yeah. 3D printed.
Dude.
You know, any pictures you want printed. You know.
Yeah, I would love for you to do one. Nobody's daily yet. Nobody knows what car it is. I would totally love to have one of these for the future because this is probably the coolest. This is probably the baby car right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is gonna be my dream car just because of the fact I wanted a boosted sleeper. That's literally my email, boosted sleeper.
Yeah. So
like it's got to be a boosted sleeper automatic, and of course I'd be a Honda, me being a Honda guy. So thanks, bud. That's really cool to offer to me. Thank you. So yeah, and if you guys heard or saw, he 3D prints those. If you guys send me the picture, I will ask him and he can tell me. I can probably ship them to you or whatever. Probably would just kick him whatever, and I'm sure he would be willing to do it, especially if he can make a little side money out of that. That'd be cool. So, you know, that would be a little business venture for him. I'm all about my buddies getting little businesses going and doing all that stuff. So if that helps him out, that would be a cool thing. I'm gonna hop off so I can do this, and then I gotta call my lady. Haley or Bailey or sicko garbage. Huh? Anyways, all right, I'm out of here. I gotta call my lady. Peace.